Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping straight into a specific list of English vocabulary words.
Right. The idea is to really get under the skin of these words so you can
Mhm.
use them accurately.
Exactly, giving you that confidence.
Hmm.
So let's get started with our first one. Serial number 3. Okay, serial number 3, tout.
Tout. Okay, so this word means to really enthusiastically praise or promote something or
Yeah.
someone.
Like you're trying hard to convince people it's great.
Pretty much, yeah. The goal is persuasion through praise.
Got it. So an example could be, the company continually touts its new environmentally friendly product.
Right.
Which basically means they're always talking it up, saying how green and wonderful it is, trying to get people excited.
Exactly. You'd hear it a lot in, say, marketing campaigns, definitely.
Or maybe sports commentary, praising a player's skill.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any situation with strong public endorsement, really.
Okay. So synonyms, maybe praise, promote, endorse.
Advocate fits too. And on the flip side, antonyms would be things like criticize, disparage. Yeah, condemn works.
So this is interesting. How is tout different from, say, advertisement or even propaganda?
Ah, good question. An advertisement is the thing itself, like the TV spot or the billboard.
The medium.
Right. But tout is the action of praising within it. So you could say the advertisement was everywhere, touting the car's features.
Okay, that makes sense. And propaganda, that sounds more negative.
It usually is. Propaganda often implies biased, maybe even misleading information, pushing a specific viewpoint. Think political messages.
So the official broadcast touted the government's achievements.
But critics called it propaganda.
Exactly.
Tout can be neutral, but if the praise feels over the top or baseless,
It can feel a bit suspect, maybe slightly negative.
precisely, like someone's trying too hard.
Okay, what about common mistakes?
A big one is using it too casually, like instead of just talk about.
So you wouldn't say, I'm going to tout my vacation plans.
Probably not, unless you're, I don't know, trying to sell tickets to your slideshow.
Ah, right. Better to just say, talk about my plans.
Or, if you're really enthusiastic, maybe I'll tout the amazing beaches I visited, focusing on the promotion aspect.
Got it. It needs that strong promotional push. Right, next up, serial number 5, torpor.
Torpor. This one describes a state of deep inactivity, sluggishness, basically a real lack of energy or desire to do anything.
More than just feeling a bit sleepy then.
Oh yeah, much more profound.
Okay, an example. After the large meal, a feeling of torpor settled over the group.
Perfect example. You can just picture everyone slumped over, totally lacking energy after eating way too much.
A complete slowdown.
Exactly. And you see it used for extreme physical or mental laziness,
Yeah.
maybe caused by intense heat or illness even.
And animals, don't they experience something like this?
Yes, definitely. Animals can enter a state of torpor during winter. It's a kind of natural dormancy, helps them conserve energy.
Right, okay, so synonyms might be lethargy, sluggishness, inactivity.
Dormancy, inertia, those work too.
And antonyms,
Activity,
activity, energy, vigor.
liveliness, animation, all those capture the opposite feeling.
How does it compare to, say, lethargy? They sound quite similar.
They are very similar, often interchangeable, but torpor can sometimes imply a slightly deeper state, maybe more biological, like that hibernation example.
So you might say, the patient had severe lethargy, a deep torpor that lasted days.
Exactly. And dormancy is broader, often for plants or animals pausing activity. Torpor can be a type of dormancy.
Like, the seeds entered dormancy, a kind of biological torpor.
Right. The real nuance with torpor is that profound lack of will or ability to be active, that deep, heavy slowness.
And a common mistake.
Using it when you just mean tiredness, like after a normal day at work, you're probably just tired.
You wouldn't say, I feel torpor after work.
No, just I feel tired. But you could say something like, the oppressive heat caused a widespread torpor across the city.
Ah, because that implies an extreme, pervasive lack of activity affecting lots of people.
Exactly. It fits the intensity of the word.
Okay, moving on. Serial number 10 is tenuous.
Tenuous. This means very weak or slight. Flimsy. Something not firmly established or held.
Like it's barely holding on.
Pretty much. Think of a very thin thread.
Okay, example. The link between the two events was tenuous at best.
Right, meaning that connection was super weak, hard to prove, very flimsy.
You hear it used a lot for things like arguments, right, or connections.
Absolutely. Arguments, connections, relationships, even hopes, anything fragile that could easily fall apart or break.
That thread idea is a good visual. Synonyms, then. Flimsy, fragile, weak.
Delicate, slender, insubstantial, all good.
And opposites. Strong, solid, firm.
Substantial, robust.
Yeah. So how does it relate to words like fragile or precarious?
Well, fragile often implies something physical that can break, like glass.
Oh, okay.
Tenuous is usually more abstract, weak links, weak arguments. You might say the vase was fragile, but the hope it would survive the move was even more tenuous.
Ah, okay. And precarious.
Precarious means dangerously unstable, likely to fall or collapse. Think he was in a precarious situation, holding on with only a tenuous grip.
So tenuous describes the weak grip itself, while precarious describes the danger situation.
Exactly. The nuance of tenuous really emphasizes that inherent weakness, that it could easily fail or disappear.
Common mistakes.
Using it just to mean small or insignificant, it specifically means whisk or flimsy.
So we have a tenuous amount of time that's wrong.
Yeah, you just mean a small amount of time. But saying the evidence was tenuous is perfect, it means the evidence was weak.
Got it. Weakness, not just smallness. All right, serial number 17, temerity.
Temerity. This is about excessive confidence or boldness, but often to the point of being rude or foolish.
So it's not just being bold, it's like inappropriate boldness.
Exactly. Daring, that's maybe ill-advised or out of place.
Like in the example, he had the temerity to question the professor's research.
Right. It implies he was bold, maybe even disrespectfully so, to challenge an expert like that. Surprising, uncalled for daring.
So you'd use it when someone acts overconfidently, maybe recklessly, especially against authority.
Yes, or against social norms. Like, I couldn't believe she had the temerity to show up late and demand a raise.
Okay, synonyms. Audacity, boldness, nerve.
Impudence, daring, those fit too.
And antonyms would be the opposite. Timidity, humility.
Modesty, caution.
Right. How does it stack up against audacity or impudence?
Audacity is very close, but it can sometimes have a positive spin like brave risk-taking.
But temerity is usually negative.
Almost always. It leads towards recklessness or rudeness. You
Yeah.
might say his audacity in trying the risky move was impressive, but his temerity in criticizing the judges wasn't.
I see. And impudence.
Impudence is more focused on the disrespect aspect, like her constant impudence and temerity made her unpopular.
So the nuance for temerity is that negative shade, inappropriate, maybe foolish boldness,
That's the key,
and a common mistake.
using it for purely positive courage.
Like, he showed temerity saving the child.
No, that sounds wrong because it suggests recklessness. You'd say great courage.
But it took temerity for him to interrupt the CEO.
That works perfectly because it implies the inappropriate, perhaps foolish, boldness.
Okay, makes sense. Let's dive into serial number 18, tautological.
Tautological. Okay, this describes something, well, it expresses the same idea twice using different words. It's redundant.
For it can mean something that's true just by definition, right?
Exactly. Trivially true.
It's like the classic example, saying a circular circle is tautological.
Perfect. A circle is circular by definition, so adding circular is redundant. It repeats the meaning.
Where do you usually encounter this word? Logic, philosophy.
Yes, logic, philosophy, discussions about language, anywhere you'd point out statements that are just repetitive or obviously true.
Like free gift.
Exactly. A gift is inherently free. Saying free gift is tautological.
Okay. Synonyms, redundant, repetitive.
Pleonastic is another one.
And antonyms, concise, original.
Meaningful, informative things that actually add something new.
So how is it different from just redundant or pleonasm?
Redundant is broader, anything unnecessary. Tautological is specifically about repeating the meaning.
So new innovations is redundant.
And you could argue it's almost tautological because innovations are typically new.
And pleonasm.
That's often a rhetorical term for using more words than needed, sometimes creating a tautology, like black darkness. It's a pleonasm, and it makes the phrase tautological.
So the nuance of tautological often points to maybe flawed logic or just inefficient writing.
Yeah, because it doesn't add new information,
What's a common mistake here?
confusing it with simply being wrong or illogical.
So you wouldn't say his argument was tautological because it made no sense?
Not unless the conclusion was just a rehash of the premise.
Yeah.
If it just doesn't make sense, you'd say it's illogical.
Got it. It has that specific meaning of repetition or being true by definition. Moving right along to serial number 20,
Yeah.
palpable.
Palpable. This describes a feeling or an atmosphere that's so intense, it feels almost like you could touch it. Tangible.
So it's easily perceived, very noticeable.
Very easily perceived. especially for abstract things.
Okay, the example makes this clear. There was a palpable sense of tension in the room before the announcement.
Right. You can almost feel that tension hanging in the air. It's thick, obvious.
You mostly use it for abstract things then, like emotions. Tension, excitement, relief.
That's the most common use, yes. The relief was palpable when the results came back negative. It makes those strong feelings seem almost concrete.
Okay. Synonyms. Tangible, noticeable, discernible.
Obvious, manifest, concrete, those work too.
And antonyms. Intangible, imperceptible.
Subtle, unnoticeable. Exactly.
What's a subtle difference between palpable and, say, tangible?
Well, tangible usually means literally able to be touched. Physical.
Like tangible evidence.
Right. Palpable borrows that feeling for abstract things. It feels almost tangible.
Yep.
So the evidence was tangible and the fear was palpable.
Okay. And discernible.
Discernible just means you can perceive it, but maybe subtly. A slight change in temperature was discernible.
But the heat of the argument was palpable.
Ah, I see. Palpable emphasizes the intensity.
Exactly. That strong, immediate presence. And interestingly, palpable can also have a literal meaning, though it's less common.
Oh.
Usually in medicine, it can mean literally capable of being felt by touch, like a palpable tumor.
Right. Okay. So the main meaning is that intense feeling, but there's a literal one too.
Correct.
Common mistakes.
Using it for something just mildly noticeable.
Like a palpable breeze.
Probably not, unless it was an incredibly strong, almost physical wind. Usually you just say a noticeable breeze.
But the palpable chill of winter.
That could work if the chill was really strong and obvious, almost biting. It needs that intensity.
Intensity is key. Got it. Up next, serial number 22. Tangential.
Tangential. This means diverging, going off course from the main topic, only slightly connected. Peripheral.
Like taking a detour in a conversation.
Exactly. Going off on a tangent.
So, the example. The speaker went off on a tangential anecdote that had little to do with the main subject. Right. The story was related, but only loosely, and it pulled away from the main point.
So you use it when someone deviates. In conversation, or maybe an argument.
Yeah, or even a physical path, though that's less common. Usually comments or points in a discussion. His comments were often tangential and didn't help us focus.
Synonyms. Peripheral, digressive. Irrelevant.
Extraneous. Incidental.
Yep, and antonyms. Central, essential, direct.
Relevant, pertinent. Those are the opposites.
Let's clarify the difference with irrelevant and digressive. Is tangential the same as irrelevant?
Not quite. Irrelevant means completely unrelated, no connection at all.
But tangential implies some connection.
Yes, a slight, maybe weak connection, but still a departure from the main point. Her tangential remark wasn't totally irrelevant, but it did derail the conversation.
Okay, and digressive.
Digressive describes the act of straying. A person or speech can be digressive. The points they make might feel tangential because they keep wandering off.
So his speech was digressive, full of tangential points.
Exactly. The nuance of tangential is that the connection is weak enough to be distracting or unproductive.
And didn't you mention another meaning from geometry?
Ah, yes. The less common meaning. Well, we usually mean slightly connected, like her comments were tangential. In geometry, it refers to a line touching a curve at one point, a tangent line.
Like a tangential line to a circle, okay? Good to know.
Right.
And a common mistake.
Using it when something is completely unrelated.
So if an idea has zero connection, don't call it tangential.
Right. Call it irrelevant. But if it has a minor, slightly related point that doesn't address the core issue, then tangential works. His idea was tangential, a related side point but not helpful.
Slight connection, but off topic. Understood. Our next word is serial number 24, reticent.
Reticent. This means unwilling to readily reveal your thoughts or feelings. Reserved. Holding back, especially in speech.
So not very talkative about certain things.
Exactly. Particularly personal or sensitive topics.
Like the example, he was reticent about his past experiences.
Right. It means he didn't want to talk much about his past, kept things to himself, unwilling to share those details.
You see it used for personality, but also maybe temporary situations.
Both. Someone might be naturally reticent, or they might be reticent about a specific subject, like the government remained reticent about the policy details.
Okay, synonyms. Reserved, uncommunicative, taciturn.
Silent, secretive, those work too.
Antonyms. Communicative, talkative, open.
Voluble, frank.
Yes. How does it differ from taciturn or reserved? They seem close.
Taciturn usually describes someone generally quiet by nature. habitually uncommunicative.
Whereas reticent can be specific.
Right. Some might be generally talkative but reticent about a particular topic. Though usually chatty, she was reticent about her future plans.
And reserved.
Reserved is broader, about overall social behavior, not just speaking. Someone reserved might also be reticent, but it's about more than just not talking. She was a reserved person, often reticent about her feelings.
So the nuance with reticent is often that conscious choice to hold back information or feelings.
Yes, that unwillingness to speak about something specific.
And the common mistake people make.
Confusing it with reluctant in a general sense.
Mhm.
Reluctant means unwilling to do something.
So I am reticent to go to the party. That's wrong.
Yes, because it sounds like you're unwilling to talk about going. You mean, I am reluctant to go.
I was reticent about explaining why I didn't want to go.
That's perfect. You were unwilling to share your reasons. It's about communication.
Got it. Reticent is about not speaking. Reluctant is about not doing. Okay, let's move to serial number 31. Surfeit.
Surfeit. This means an excessive amount of something. An oversupply, way more than needed or wanted.
Too much of a good thing, maybe? Or just too much?
Often just too much, sometimes unpleasantly so.
Like the example, the city had a surfeit of empty office buildings.
Right. Simply too many. Far more than needed. And overabundance.
You use it when there's so much, it becomes almost a problem.
Often, yes. It hints at negative consequences or just being overwhelmed, like a surfeit of information can be paralyzing.
Right. Synonyms: excess, abundance, superfluity.
Glut, surplus good ones.
Antonyms: lack, scarcity.
Deficit, shortage, yeah.
How does it compare to excess or glut?
Excess is very similar, often interchangeable. Surfeit might carry a slightly stronger feeling of being overwhelmed or even disgusted by the excess.
Like there was an excess of food, frankly a surfeit.
Exactly. And glut usually refers to commodities, like an oversupply in the market driving down prices. A glut of oil caused a surfeit of unused crude.
So surfeit has that nuance of unpleasantness or being overwhelmed by the sheer quantity?
Often, yes. And interestingly, like palpable, it can also be a verb, though it's less common now.
Really?
The noun is an excessive amount, like a surfeit of choices. The verb means to feed or supply to excess, making someone want no more. He was surfeited with rich food.
Ah, like being completely stuffed.
Exactly.
And a common mistake.
Using it just to mean a lot, when there's no sense of excess or being overwhelmed.
So saying I have a surfeit of friends would be weird.
Yeah, unless you somehow meant you had too many friends, which is unlikely. You just say, I have a lot of friends.
But a surfeit of junk mail?
That worked perfectly because it implies an unwanted excess.
Too much. Often unwanted. Got it. Okay, next intriguing one. Serial number 39. Sublimate.
Sublimate. This one's interesting because it has two quite distinct meanings, one from psychology, one from chemistry.
Okay, let's start with psychology.
In psychology, to sublimate is to redirect the energy of an impulse, usually an unacceptable or primitive one, into a more socially acceptable activity.
Channeling bad energy into good.
Sort of, yeah. Transforming it.
Like the example, he sublimated his aggressive tendencies into competitive sports.
Exactly. Taking that aggressive energy and putting it into a positive, structured outlet like sports.
Okay, that's the psychology meaning. What about chemistry?
In chemistry, sublimate means to change directly from a solid to a gas, skipping the liquid phase entirely.
Ah, like dry ice.
Precisely. When dry ice warms up, it sublimates into carbon dioxide gas. Solid straight to gas.
Okay, so synonyms for the psych meaning maybe channel, redirect, transform.
Yes. For
That's-
chemistry. Well, it's a specific type of vaporization directly from solid.
And antonyms for the psych meaning repress, express.
Yeah, repress, pushing it down or expressing it unfiltered would be opposites.
Let's talk related words. Psychology first. How is it different from repress?
Repress is usually seen as unhealthy, just suppressing or denying an impulse. Sublimate is considered a more mature, healthier way of dealing with it by transforming the energy.
So he tried to repress his anger, but it was better to sublimate it into art.
Good example. And in chemistry, how's it different from just vaporize? Vaporize is general turning into a gas, can be from liquid or solid. Sublimate is only solid to gas.
So water vaporizes or evaporates, but dry ice sublimates.
Exactly. The nuance in psychology is that mature transformation. In chemistry, it's that specific solid-to-gas process.
Common mistakes. Psychology first.
Confusing it with just ignoring or hiding feelings. He sublimated his problems. Isn't right if he just ignored them.
Better to say ignored or repressed.
Right. But He sublimated his frustration into a workout. That's correct transformation.
And for chemistry.
Don't use it for liquid to gas. Water doesn't sublimate when it boils. It evaporates or vaporizes.
Okay, keep the two meanings separate and use them precisely. Now for serial number 48, foil.
Foil. Another word with two common distinct meanings, as a noun and as a verb.
Okay, let's do the noun first.
As a noun, a foil is a person or thing that contrasts strongly with another, highlighting the other's quality.
Like a counterpart that makes the main character stand out more.
Exactly.
Example, the quiet scholar served as a perfect foil to the boisterous adventurer.
Right. The scholar's quietness emphasizes the adventurer's loudness by contrast.
You see this a lot in literature, right? Character foils.
Very common literary device. Okay, now the verb, to foil, means to prevent something, usually something undesirable, from succeeding.
To stop a plan.
Yes, to stop it successfully.
Like the police managed to foil the bank robbery.
Perfect. They actively stopped it from happening.
Okay. Synonyms for the noun. Contrast, counterpart.
Yes. For the verb, thwart, hinder, frustrate, prevent.
And antonyms. Noun, identical, similar. Verb, aid, assist.
Facilitate, yeah.
So how does the noun foil differ from just contrast?
Contrast is the general idea of difference. The foil is the actual person or thing providing that contrast. The gray background is a foil to the bright red, highlighting their contrast.
Got it. And the verb foil versus thwart, they sound very similar.
They are very similar, often interchangeable. Thwart might sometimes imply a more direct blocking or frustrating action.
Like the guard foiled his escape or bad weather thwarted their plans.
Both work well. The nuance of foil as a noun is that contracting relationship. As a verb, it often implies stopping a specific scheme or plot.
And a common mistake for the verb.
Mixing it up with fail.
So the plan was foiled means someone stopped it.
Yes, an outside force stopped it. The plan failed. Just means it didn't work, maybe on its own. Foil needs that element of active prevention.
External prevention. Okay. And right after foil, conveniently, is serial number 49, thwart.
Yes, thwart. As we just touched on, it means to prevent someone from accomplishing something, to successfully oppose or frustrate their efforts.
A direct block.
Often feels like a direct block, yes.
Example, bad weather thwarted their plans for a picnic.
Right. The weather directly stopped the picnic from happening, defeated the plan.
So you use it when some obstacle or action just completely stops someone's efforts.
Exactly. Stops their plans, ambitions, efforts. His attempt to win was thwarted by a last-minute error.
Synonyms we mentioned. Frustrate, impede, obstruct, hinder, prevent.
Defeat works too.
And antonyms. Aid, assist, facilitate.
Enable. Right.
Let's dig a bit deeper. Thwart versus hinder or frustrate.
Hinder means to slow down or make difficult. Thwart usually means to stop completely.
So traffic hindered them, but the bridge collapse thwarted them.
Perfect distinction. And frustrate. Frustrate can mean stopping something, but also causing annoyance or discouragement in the process. His efforts were frustrated by delays, and eventually the project was thwarted entirely.
So thwart often implies that definitive, active blocking of a specific goal.
That's a good way to put it.
And the mistake, similar to foil.
Yeah, using it for minor difficulties. A pothole thwarted our smooth ride. Probably not. It just hindered it.
But the bridge collapse thwarted all travel.
Definitely. Complete prevention.
Got it. It needs to be a significant blockage. Moving on to number 50, stringent.
Stringent. This describes rules, requirements, or conditions that are very strict, precise, and demanding. Exacting.
Well, not much wiggle room.
Very little. High standards, strictly enforced.
Example, the company has stringent quality control standards.
Right. Meaning their rules for quality are very demanding, very strict.
You hear this a lot for rules, laws, tests, things that are tough to meet.
Exactly. The new safety regulations are extremely stringent.
Synonyms: strict, rigorous, severe.
Exacting, rigid, all fit.
Antonyms: lax, lenient.
Flexible, permissive. The opposite feel entirely.
Okay, how does stringent compare to rigorous or just plain strict?
Rigorous often applies more to methods or processes, emphasizing thoroughness and difficulty. The stringent rules required a rigorous investigation.
And strict.
Strict is more general, demanding obedience, firm. Stringent often implies a higher level of detail and exactness in their requirements, beyond just being firm.
So a teacher can be strict, but the rules themselves might be stringent about, say, deadlines and formatting.
Exactly. Stringent emphasizes that high level of demand and precision in the rules or standards themselves,
Common mistake.
using it to describe a person's general personality when you just mean strict.
So my boss is stringent sounds a bit off.
Yeah, unless you're specifically talking about how they enforce very precise rules. More naturally, you'd say, my boss is strict.
But my boss enforces stringent deadlines.
That's perfect. It describes the deadlines themselves as demanding and precise.
Describes the rules, not the person. Okay. Next up, serial number 51, stymie.
Stymie. This means to prevent or hinder progress, to block or impede, often in a way that's confusing or creates a difficult obstacle.
So it's like blocking, but maybe in a puzzling way.
Sometimes, yes, it can imply an obstacle that makes it hard to figure out how to proceed.
Example, the bad weather stymied our efforts to reach the summit.
Right. The weather didn't just slow them down, it created a difficult block, maybe making the path unclear or too dangerous to figure out. It stopped them.
You hear it when something unexpected halts progress.
Often, yes. Lack of funding completely stymied the research project, or opponents tried to stymie his campaign.
Synonyms look familiar. Impede, obstruct, hinder, block, thwart.
Frustrate fits too.
Antonyms again. Aid, assist, facilitate.
Promote, yes.
Okay, let's compare. Stymie versus hinder or impede.
Again, hinder is more about slowing down. Stymie often implies a more complete block, or an obstacle that's tricky to get around.
So, lack of resources hindered them, but a key piece of missing data completely stymied them.
Good example. The missing data creates a confusing block. Impede is similar to hinder block, but stymie adds that potential nuance of a puzzling or complex barrier.
Like, traffic impeded us, but the sudden, unexplained road closure stymied us.
Exactly. Where do we go now? That kind of feeling.
So the nuance is often that confusing or perplexing block.
It can be, yes.
And the mistake.
Using it for just a minor annoyance or distraction.
The fly buzzing around stymied my reading.
Probably not. It just distracted or hindered you.
But a critical bug in the software stymied all operations.
That works well. A significant, maybe complex block that stopped everything.
Okay, needs a real obstruction. And finally, our last word for today, serial number 52, strife.
Strife. This refers to angry or bitter disagreement. Conflict, usually over fundamental issues. It implies friction and contention.
So, more serious than just an argument.
Oh yes, much more serious, often ongoing and bitter.
Example, there was much strife between the two political parties.
Right. It suggests deep, angry, ongoing disagreement and conflict between them.
You use it for serious discord, within groups or between them.
Yes, or even internal conflict sometimes, though less common. Most often it's about major contention. The region has been plagued by civil strife for years.
Synonyms, conflict, discord, contention.
Dispute, friction, those work.
Antonyms, peace, harmony.
Agreement, unity, the complete opposite.
How is strife different from just conflict or discord?
Conflict is very general, any disagreement or opposition. Strife suggests a more prolonged, bitter, maybe even violent form of conflict.
So, the initial conflict over resources escalated into decades of bitter strife.
Exactly. And discord implies a lack of harmony, disagreement, but usually less intense or violent than strife. Strife has that real bitterness.
Like, minor discord among members grew into open strife.
Perfect. The nuance of strife is that deep-seated, often ongoing animosity or struggle. Yeah. Real bitterness.
And the mistake, using it too lightly.
Definitely. Don't use it for a simple argument.
So we had some strife over what movie to watch. That's way too strong.
Way too strong. Just say argument or disagreement.
But the ongoing strife in the war-torn country.
That's exactly the right context. Serious, long-term, bitter conflict.
Got it. Needs that level of severity. And there we have it, a deep dive into, well, quite a few fascinating English words. Hopefully exploring the nuances, the examples, and those common pitfalls helps you use them more confidently.
It's really interesting, isn't it, how much meaning is packed in and how understanding those subtle differences just, well, it brings the language to life. It's not just about definition.
Absolutely. It helps us be more precise. So the question for you listening is, which of these words are you going to try and weave into your conversations this week?
A good challenge. Keep exploring, keep learning. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the lexicon.